Because we are setting up infrastructure like this, as an example, I am also bullish because of young talent. Yesterday I was in Kolhapur at a convocation at Shivaji University. I didn't realize that Shivaji University had 250,000 students, which was a shock and surprise to me. I should have known, but I didn't. And Shivaji University provides education at 1,000 rupees per year tuition. Can you imagine getting a college degree for $20 a year? That is the Indian business model. So I tell my colleagues that the Western model, based on consumption, IRR, is really not scalable, sustainable, desirable, workable in many parts of India. We really need Indian model of development. We really need bottom of the economic pyramid as the focus. And whenever you do that, first challenge is affordability. Is it affordable? If it is not affordable, it's not scalable. If it is not scalable, don't worry about sustainability. So everything we do has to really focus on affordability, scalability, sustainability. Otherwise, it will be basically for the top of the pyramid. But interestingly enough, there was another university or college within 5 miles, not even 5 miles, within maybe 2 miles of that place, where I went to give a talk, and I was told that there are 4,000 students in college. So I thought I'll go talk to some few hundred students. All 4,000 were there. The entire campus was there to listen. And there people pay over ₹1 lakh tuition. And everybody is happy. And you can see the difference in the climate. Here you have a large group of people who are paying 1,000 rupees tuition. Here you have a large group of people who are paying 100 times more. And they both coexist. And that is the beauty of India. But our talent has to go at the bottom of the economic pyramid. So everything we are trying to do is really looking at scaling solutions which affect large number of people. And that's where innovation is required. There is a great deal of technology available, just not in IT and telecom. We all keep talking about that because that's our field. But when you look at agriculture, I find that we haven't really paid much attention to agriculture technology. You cannot have a nation growing at 8 to 10% and agriculture growing at 2 or 3%. We want agriculture also to grow at 7 to 8%, because that's where poor people get hurt in inflation. You can't have cost of pulses going up and up. You can't have vegetables, fruits increasing in prices. I think great deal of attention needs to be paid to technology in agriculture, not only for logistics, distribution and all of that, but also for basic productivity. And there is huge opportunity, I believe, in agriculture technology. Similarly, waste management. You know, every time I travel around in the country, I see garbage all over. There's just too much garbage on the streets of Indian cities. There is huge opportunity there as well. If you take our top 200 cities, all of these cities are dying, according to me, because of lack of infrastructure. Everywhere there is problem of water, sanitation, power, transport. And urban cities also need technology, new solutions, new ways of solving problems. So opportunities for the next 50 years are limitless. The question is, how do we multiply? How do we manage? And that's where I think young talent is going to be very critical. You see large number of people who are really managing the system, and you find that they are really not equipped to deal with the kind of change this country needs. So you have a little bit of confrontation in the system. You have old guards who want status quo, go slow, incremental change, and you have young Turks who are saying, we want change now. And we want generational change and not incremental change. And that's where I think entrepreneurs are going to play an important role. So I want to really welcome you all. I want to thank you for your time and energy. I'm delighted that people like Desh Deshpande and Shiv Khemka and others are giving their time and energy. I've known them for many years, especially these two. They've been personal friends. They are well accomplished. Their heart is in the right place. And like Shiban Ganju has been saying, that the social entrepreneurship is all about your heart and your head in the right place. They have their heart and their head in the right place. So let's capitalize on it. And there are others like them. Let's bring them. And I think these two could be the magnet to bring other colleagues. I'm delighted that they are spending a lot of their time. I know for sure that this is not going to help in their IRR. So there are other colleagues who sort of manage their time, would drag them and say, don't waste time on this stuff because you are going to be losing money. But I'm delighted they have decided to spend their time and energy. I welcome them. We need them in the long run. And I hope we can benefit from your wisdom and experience and your connections. Saurabh Srivastava has just walked in. And Saurabh, you grab Saurabh. He's not easy to be in these kinds of circles. He's also hooked up on IRR and all that. But we are trying to drag him into sort of losing money a little bit. And I must tell you that losing money is also an interesting way to live. It gives you a little more joy at times. Okay. So Saurabh, good to have you. So once again, thanks everyone. Thanks Sanjay. Thanks Ranjani. I really appreciate your giving me this opportunity. I will definitely miss all the interactions, but I'm sure my colleagues will brief me. Sanjay, once again, congratulations. Once again, relax. It'll all work. Okay? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Sir, would you be open to a couple of questions?
We'll have few
would
questions.
You like anybody?
Yeah. We have 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Anybody wants to go first? Okay, sir.
Please.
Small question.
Yes, sir.
Actually, your colleague, Mr. Jairam Ramesh, talks more on building up toilets. So I've come with an idea of multiplying the things through vocational training throughout the country, but giving them the knowledge within 1 month's time, and make one toilet a day in one particular hub. So is it possible that the message will go to the concerned department and we can see some light? We don't need funds. We need a policy decision that, okay, this type of multiplying the vocational training can happen in certain period. I'll be gladly helping out.
On vocational education, I would recommend that you talk to Dr. Ramadurai, who is the head of sort of vocational education, and also to Dilip Shinoy, who he's the head of National Skill Development Mission. And Sukhman and Vikas can give you details. If necessary, even connect you to both of them. Jairam is okay. Jairam is good. Jairam is very intelligent. But for vocational education, I would suggest you also contact Ramadurai and Shinoy. Okay. Yes, sir.
Last year, we had talked about basically the SMS try regulations, given that many of us are trying to build services over SMS, over IVR, that directly reach out to people that don't use computers, don't use the mobile internet. And in essence, over the last year, it's become harder and harder to make any machine that can actually talk via SMS and IVR to a person in India via the vast regulations that have come into place. And I'm wondering what's the status of getting that changed in the social enterprise space, because it makes it very hard for us to work.
I am not really up on it, but I would look it up. Do me a favor, give me one paragraph again. Sukhman, Vikas, have me talk to Secretary IT next week. I will talk to Kapil next week also, and I guarantee I'll come back to you. Okay?
It should be on.
Thank you very much for the great opportunity to ask a question. You know, social enterprise in India don't really have a legal status. You have something like a B Corp in the US, which definitely would be really helpful, because we are neither commercial, we are neither non-profits, and that leaves us in such a state of limbo, you know, when we plan anything from funding to growth to scale to anything at all, and that would make a huge difference.
Just give your policy input to our team. So when we do a first draft of entrepreneurship policy, maybe we should have a section on social entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Okay?
One last question.
I am Vijay Bhaskar. Started a company called Kisan Raja Innovations. We are building technology solutions for agriculture, and which 80% of the fresh water is used for irrigation, and 35% of the energy that's produced is used for irrigation. So we are actually impacting productivity, energy, as well as water conservation. So is there any contact where I can work with the governments to scale this technology that we are working on?
I have no idea, but I don't know. But just, connect with our team. We'll try to find who would be the right person, and we'll put you in touch with them. But I don't know enough about it. Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah, I can hear you.
My name is Puneet. I used to be a social funder a couple of months back. One of the key challenges that I've seen facing social enterprises is the lack of ability to raise working capital, especially for artisans and for farmers and stuff like that when you're working in groups. So that's one thing that I would request is we look at if we are looking for scalable solutions, because working capital has become a key problem if you're working with farmers and artisans and livelihood projects. Thank you.
It's strange, but the government policies are always geared toward helping people at the bottom of the economic pyramid, providing loans to, artisan and others. Unfortunately, the bankers want to give big loans to one or two people because then their job is easy. They can tick mark, 100 crore, done. It is easy for them to give 100 crore to one person who is well known than to give 1 crore to 100 people who are not well known. That's how it works. I hope IT can begin to change this. See, when you open up the system, these things will change, because then you will say that that fellow gave only 100 crore one loan for the whole year. Today, that information is not available. It's all, I've been saying recently that we have RTI, right to information in India, but the information is locked up in Nadawali file. And we have not been able to open that Nadawali file. So we are trying to computerize a lot of this. Then things will begin to become a little more transparent. But there is a lot of resistance to this. Nobody wants to do it.
This will be the last question here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, Dr. Pitroda. My name is Rita. I'm with the NASCOM Foundation. And since you're not going to be here during the report outs, I thought I would pose the question that I would have posed had you been here. It's come up already twice. We heard from Sean and we heard from Karen about two issues that were brought up last year that relate to advocacy. Our panel talked about what is the best method to do advocacy, to collect information and then put it to our government to change these laws or to amend them, to create new laws. We talked about a portal. It seems to be the usual solution to these things. But the question really is, what is the best way? We're meeting here a year later, and we're talking about B Corp, we're talking about TRI, and many of the issues that came up yesterday were issues that we've talked about in the past. So just advice from you on what is the best way. We know that changing policy is a process and it will take time. But what's the best way to keep hammering the drum?
One is to start writing in the media. Two is to be present at groups like this. Three is to use social media, websites, and all that. Four, find who is working on this problem in the government. And when you can't find anybody, come to us. We will find the right channel because we are dealing with everybody. See, our advantage is we are working at a horizontal level. You know, sitting in Prime Minister's office, we just pick up phone and call anybody. You know, in the name of innovation, which is sort of pretty vague in India, okay, we can just do anything in a sense. Okay? And people have been nice to us so far. It could change. Okay? But I could pick up phone and call Minister of Mining and say, kya ho raha hai yaar? He say, okay, Pitroda sahab, we'll have a conversation. So let's use that. Okay? It may not last too long. Okay? So I think if we can just try all these different ideas, if you have something very important, I can tell you, I can talk to Montek in 5 minutes. You know, he's next door to me, you know, I call him on mobile phone regularly, say, Montek, can we meet on this? And Montek is very good. He may not be able to do much, but at least you get into the system. Okay? So let's keep trying all of these things. We are trying to change a monster. Okay? It isn't easy, but don't give up. I've been at it for 30 years. Okay, I started in '81, and it's great fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pitroda. Each time I listen to you, I feel that I must have done something good in my last lifetime to have this informational, transformational speech in your presence. I think we all agree here. Can we give him a warm round of applause? Thank you.